Hey everyone, welcome back to Lens on Trains. This is episode 8 of our Building My First Diorama series, and today we're diving into sealing, painting, and finally pouring some epoxy resin for that lake and canyon. So let's start where we left off with the landscape details mostly in place. I sealed everything using Mod Podge. It's a matte water-based glue sealer and finish. I really like it because it dries clear and leaves a smooth, non-glossy surface, which is perfect for paint, adhesion, and resin work later. Once the Mod Podge dried completely, I moved on to painting the lake bed and canyon. For the lake, I used deeper tones of brown to give it some depth, and the canyon got a warm reddish brown base with some darker washes in the crevices to simulate shadows and depth. Um, this stage really started to bring the scene to life. Now, here's the moment I've been waiting for, the unboxing of the epoxy resin kit I ordered for the water effects. Inside the box I found two bottles with 250 milliliters each, one resin, one hardener, along with a selection of pigments, gloves, mixing utensils and measuring cups. Like most epoxy systems, this one requires equal parts of resin and hardener. Once mixed, it needs 24 hours for a hard cure and around 72 hours for a full cure, so planning ahead is key when working with this stuff. Alright, now onto mixing. I started by measuring equal parts of resin and hardener into separate cups. This part is all about precision because a bad ratio means a bad cure. Now, once measured, I poured them into one cup and began mixing. I decided to tint the resin with a blend of transparent blue to simulate a natural water body. After adding the pigments, I stirred slowly but thoroughly for a couple of minutes. And remember, slow mixing helps avoid bubbles, and bubbles are basically the enemy when it comes to clear resin pores. I kept checking the color and consistency as I went, adding a tiny bit more pigment until I was happy with the final tone. It's subtle, but it really enhances realism, especially when the light hits it at the right angle. Now, time for the most satisfying part, the pour. I started by pouring the resin just through the canyon section of the diorama. I used the popsicle stick to help guide the resin into tighter spaces, making sure it flowed into all the little details and crevices. I didn't pour into the lake yet, as I wanted to focus on getting the canyon layer just right. I made some minor adjustments as the resin settled, gently nudging it to where it needed. And once poured, it looked absolutely stunning. The pigment worked exactly as planned, giving it that realistic depth without losing clarity. But I quickly realized I need more volume to cover the lake and also raise the canyon level higher. Pouring a thick layer in one go isn't recommended, so I'll let this layer cure fully before I revisit and add another one later. So that's it for this episode. The epoxy resin turned out great, and now that the first layer is curing, I can plan the next stage to bring the lake to life. If you're enjoying this diorama build, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell icon so you don't miss episode 9, where I'll tackle the next resin layer and start adding surface details like ripples and debris. Until then, thanks for watching Lens on Trains, and keep your creativity on track.